Hello everybody and welcome back. It's time for me to film my January roundup. This one's going to be quite a bit shorter than my usual roundups. I only have around 10 products to talk to you guys about. I really tried to focus on the products I already had in my collection since we're coming out of some spendy months, and it's always good to shift your focus on the things you already have. But of course, I did bring in some new things that you guys were requesting for me to try out. So if you aren't familiar with my roundups or you need a refresher, I basically go through all of the new products I brought into my collection this month, and I tell you my final opinions and review on the things after I was able to try them out for a longer period of time. And today I switched it up a little bit because I added a new category. So I have a total of 4 to go through today. So my first one is my favorites, and these are the products that perform the best and that I see a majority of people really liking them if they seem to fit your preferences. And then we'll move into my liked category, which are the products I really enjoyed but I don't find to be the most unique, or have a few critiques or concerns about them. Then we'll move into my in-between section. So these are the products that didn't really fit into my likes, nor did they fit into my disappointments or unremarkable section. And then we'll move on to my disappointments, which of course will be the products I would say to stay away from. I hope that made sense. So before we get into it, I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, let's get into it. I forgot to mention in the intro that I'm going to move these products in here to my February roundup, just because I've used most of these just once, so it didn't really make sense to include them in this month's roundup. But that includes the Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palettes, the new NARS foundation, the Milk Makeup Bionic highlighters and bronzers, and all of the new e.l.f. stuff will all be pushed back a month. So of course I'm going to be starting off with my favorites, and the product I was most impressed by this month was the CALIRAY Come Hell or High Water Mascara. Now this one is super exciting because it's a volumizing tubing mascara, which I have never come across in my makeup career this far, but this is a really rare case where I love the looks of this mascara on my top lashes as well as my bottom lashes. And a tubing mascara is great, especially if you encounter a lot of issues with flaking or smudging or any of those classic mascara problems. A tubing mascara will solve that issue, and at the end of the day it's very easy to remove the mascara. You just add some warm water and they'll just come off of your lashes in these perfect little satisfying tubes. So all around I am very excited about this mascara. And I also adore the size of this wand. It reminds me of the Marc Jacobs At Lash mascara wand, which I adored so much, just because it's very thin. So it will be good for so many different eye shapes, and you'll be able to have a lot more control than the super thick, fluffy ones. And I also adore how it comes to a pretty pointy, tapered end, so you're able to get a detailed application. I just love how much control this wand allows you. And I've never seen this kind of wand for a tubing mascara. This one has the little bristles, it's more fluffy, so it really combs through your lashes nicely and it adds that gorgeous volume. And this one's also great because it's very quick to apply. I only need 1 layer on each side. Usually with any other mascaras, I like at least add 2 layers, but 1 is fine. But overall, love this mascara. I would highly recommend you checking it out if you feel like a tubing mascara would be good for your life and your lashes. The next product I am super impressed by is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I feel like this is a miracle brow product. I feel like I've been looking for something like this for so long. I've tried most of the brow products to give that laminated or fluffy look, and none of them worked out for me because they would always kind of detach from my skin and then they would kind of clump up and look flaky, like they would turn white and grainy, and it would just look kind of like dry skin in your brows. It wasn't a cute look, but this one does not do that if you apply the right amount of product. What I love about this one is that you only need a little bit and it's very effective. I've only encountered this one kind of doing that flaky thing once, and that was when I used way too much, but it was not to the extent that I experienced with like the Refi one or the NYX the brow glue. It's also very long wearing, which I really like, and I find it to be a good flexible formula, so it kind of moves around while your muscles move, which is nice because I do hold a lot of tension in between my brows, especially if I'm concentrating, but this lasts through my emotions. So yes, very impressed by this one here. They also came out with like a soap brow one, I think this month. I wonder how that one's going to compare. I'll let you know once I get my hands on it. Next up, the Rare Beauty setting powder really impressed me. I love the packaging. First of all, it's really, really cute. I really enjoy how there's a little slider thing in here so you can kind of control the amount of product that comes out. And it just makes for like a cleaner container, which I enjoy. I also really adore the formula of this powder. Of course, it's very blurring, but it's also very comfortable. A lot of times with powders, you'll feel those tightening feelings, or it's just not the most comfortable. This does not feel like you're wearing a powder at all, which I enjoy. And it's also been really good for my oilier complexion. And it also is a good one to touch up my face during the day as well, if I am getting a bit shiny for my liking. Overall, I've been really impressed by this one, and it has entered my powder rotation. I feel like I knew that I was going to get along with this powder immediately when I first tried it, and I was right. It's just fit into my makeup life perfectly. And my last favorite of the month is the Dear Dahlia Paradise Dream Velvet Lip Mousse Lip Tint. They're that classic, beautiful, kind of silicone-y feeling lipstick, but this one gives such a diffused look to your lips, which I find to be beautiful. It gives such a nice blurred look while still looking really matte. I love this type of formula as an alternative to a drying liquid lipstick because it never looks unflattering on your lips, and it's also very comfortable to wear. They just feel nice and silky, kind of hydrating, but you get that appearance of a matte lip. These aren't transfer proof, so if you kiss something or you drink something, it will for sure get onto whatever you're kissing. This color is so beautiful. It's a color that I have been wearing quite often, but so much more vibrant. So this has been a fun addition if I want more of a lip focused look, which I've been enjoying quite a bit now that I have bangs. I think it's just a cute look, and it also smells so good. It smells like French lavender. It smells like those little lavender sachets that you put into your sock drawer or just like your closet in general to make it smell really nice and fresh. It's very, very relaxing, and it brings me back to my childhood when I'd stuff those things everywhere. I had like 3 or 4 in my pillowcase growing up. I just love lavender. See? Well, that felt really quick, but that's it for favorites. Now let's get into my likes. So first up, we have the Rare Beauty bronzing sticks. These are only in this section because I'm not a super fan of the undertones they have so far. I hope that they extend and bring out some more neutral or cooler tones too. The bronzers I've been reaching for right now are kind of mid-toned. So they have a bit of warmth, but a bit of cool toned in them as well. So they're just like a 2-in-1 for me, especially in the wintertime. I feel like that flatters me the most. But these ones I find to be too warm for my skin tone. But other than that, the formula is beautiful. I find it to be quite similar to the M Cosmetics So Soft Sticks or the Makeup by Mario Sculpting Stick, but just thinner in consistency. It doesn't deposit such a thick layer. But these ones are also more pigmented than those 2 other sticks I just mentioned, which is really interesting. So a bit of these go a long way, which is awesome because then you'll have these around for quite a while. I also like how you're able to draw directly on your face and it doesn't add too much pigment, so you're not like panicking there blending it out. Like these ones won't screw you over. They're also quite long wearing because they do dry down to this powdery state, and of course they're very easy to blend, easy to wear. They're not heavy at all, they don't feel sticky. Formula wise, they're perfect in my eyes. I just hope that they will come out with more colors. I'd love to see contour sticks and stuff like that. That'd be really cool to see. Next up, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Now listen, I wish I had a different skin type to be able to wear this foundation. It's beautiful. It truly is beautiful skin. Every time I apply it, I love the way my skin looks and feels. The only thing though is once the day goes on, I find that it gets a little bit too dewy for my liking, and it kind of feels heavier on my oilier skin. And sadly, this one does break me out. I do have sensitive skin in that regard. I am prone to acne. So if you have the same skin type as me, I would say to sadly skip away from this one. But if you have a drier skin type or normal skin type and you're not prone to acne, I think you would really, really love this foundation. I think it just didn't get along with my personal skin type, which is too bad. I'm wearing it today and I just love my skin. It looks so good. I'm really risking it today. Tomorrow will be a pimple patch day. So all in all, these would be in my favorites if they didn't break me out or if they were for my skin type. And the last one I have in my liked category is the NABLA 2 Reasons Lightweight Cream Color and Glassy Balm for an effortless, natural looking flush. Holy name. This is the shade Flesh Terracotta, and it looks like a color I would really get along with, which I do. I like it immediately on, but I find as you're wearing it, it gets more orange. Like you can see it on my skin here. It looks way different than kind of this bricky red burnished color here. So I don't really love that. The formula is quite nice. It feels kind of like a powdery matte cream blush, which is cool. Similarly to the Rare Beauty melting blushes, but these ones are way more pigmented. The thing that I just don't like about this product is this side right here with the glassy balm. I just can't get it to do anything for me. It doesn't have any payoff. Like I'll get it immediately on my finger here, but once you put it onto any surface of your skin, it like does not do anything. And it looks like there's a little tint here, but it don't do nothing. So it's just wasted space for me, and I don't like how the blush kind of changes. It could be just this specific duo here. This is the only one I have, but that's just been my experience. It just doesn't really strike the excitement of makeup within me. So now we're going to move on to my in-between section. So the products that didn't really fit into my likes, nor did they fit into my disappointments. So the first one here is the iconic London Glaze Crayon. So these are dual-ended liquid and a cream shadow, which is really nice. This is what I have all over my eyes today. I also put some matte shadows in the crease and on the lower portion of my eye, but I really enjoy the idea of this. The biggest hesitation I have about this product is the cream side. This has happened to all of the ones I have in my collection. It's drying out in the little time I've had it in my collection, and when I open the cap, they just fly. They just fly out. And I do feel the product like physically getting drier. It tugs quite a bit when you're drawing it onto your lid. I hope you can see that in my demo there. But other than that, it doesn't crease or kind of fade away during the day. It stays put and dries down without like drying out too much, so it won't give you that kind of crepey looking scaly lid that some cream shadows can. And I really like the addition of the sheerer glittery topper. I do wish it was a bit more glimmery, I guess. I feel like it could be amped up in that section, but once these are layered on top of the cream, it's really nice. I don't know if I'd reach for the topper on its own because it can be a little bit streaky. I do really like the concept. I feel like they just needed to spend a little bit more time with the formulas or the packaging or something so they wouldn't dry out and so that these wouldn't be as streaky. But as is, they do wear quite nicely. I just kind of felt torn on where to place this product. Next up, I have the Fenty Beauty Liquid Highlights. So these, the base formula is stunning. Beautiful. I love the base sheen. It's very natural looking. It's very easy to apply. It doesn't dry out on you. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't lift anything up from underneath of it. It just wears beautifully. The one problem I have with this product is each one has a different amount of chunky glitter within it. So the lightest one is like a pure glitter bomb. Then it just gets less and less and less. The deepest one doesn't have any chunky glitter whatsoever. So I just don't like how they're kind of inconsistent from one another. And it's hard for me to kind of recommend them. I just wish that they excluded that extra glitter within this line. Then it would be perfect. I didn't like the inconsistency in each shade. I thought it was kind of weird. And the last one in this section are the KOSAS reformulated 10-second eyeshadows. This one really broke my heart. I was really excited when I saw it online at first because they're beautiful nude shades, but I find that they just removed every single unique part about the original formula, and now these just feel quite generic to me. They also made them quite a bit smaller, and I find these to be a lot more difficult to work with as well, which is odd. I did try to originally wear Fiery today, but I'll include the footage of me attempting to put it on. It was just a mess, and I applied it the way that they recommend. So I settled on wearing the shade Blaze on one eye, and it was a better experience, but they just took out that unique, beautiful, fine glitter that would catch the light so beautifully. They just don't shine interestingly anymore. These feel like any other satin liquid shadows out there. The Ilia ones come straight to mind. I don't know, they just stripped all of the uniqueness out of them, and it saddens me. But with that being said, I still think that these are quite pretty if you just get past that and think of these as a complete different product than the original. And that's it for that category. Now let's move on to my final section, my disappointments. And I actually only have one product in here this month, and it is the Rose Ink Concealer. It took me quite a few months to figure out my feelings on this one, and I just don't get along with this concealer at all. You know what's really funny? It performed beautifully in my demo today, which is just rude. I hate when that kind of stuff happens. It's starting to do what it has done to me every time I've used it, and it kind of enhances the texture I have right here, kind of where I'd get dark circles. You know that texture we get here? It's kind of spotty. I don't even know what it's like. It's not, I don't know. It just is a different texture than anywhere else on the face. It really accentuates all those little details there. It really grabs onto the texture. It doesn't look great. It looks cakey on me. What makes me want to love this product is the packaging. I think it's beautiful and very aesthetically pleasing. It's just gorgeous. But one thing I dislike about the packaging is how big this wand is, because you only need the tiniest amount of this concealer to cover your under eyes. It's so full coverage that this always over applies. So you really have to scrape off the excess before going in. And I would even recommend picking some up with your fingertip instead of applying the wand directly to your under eye. I just found that it always looked cakey under my skin, like a visible layer of concealer under there. I tried to make this one work as a spot correcting concealer because I thought that would be a really great usage for this one, but it's so full coverage that it always adds like a visible layer where you apply it, so it doesn't mesh well with everything else you have going on in your face. You'd have to apply this as a full-on foundation to make it look even all over. I couldn't get this one to work for the life of me. It just does not get along with my skin, I think, which is sad because I see so many people out there loving and raving about this every day, and I feel excluded. So if you have the same kind of preferences as me, or skin type as me, I would stay away from the Rose Ink Concealer. But there we have it. There is my January roundup. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please give this video a like. It would help me out very much. I'll make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.